Welcome, my smart lovers and friends. I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to this community built just for you, focused on inspiring true love and authentic, healthy relationships, okay? All the ships, friendships, romantic relationships, partnerships, all of the above. So I'm super excited to have you here. What to expect, topics related to dating, relationships, marriage, growth, self-care, self-reflection, self-mastery. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Make sure you share with a friend or two or three. Let's continue to grow together. Welcome to a special edition of Smart Love.
Woo-hoo! We in the building, baby. KOD.
KOD, yes, we are KOD. It don't look like it because you don't see poles or women swinging from them, but that's where we are.
I know that's right.
And I got the Radio King himself,
Ray Daniels. Make sure you follow me at Raymond the Radio King on Instagram.
Raymond the Radio King on Instagram.
You so cute, man. I can't stop looking at you. Even though I can see you in the camera, I'm like,
You know what? I try.
Is it real? It's really her. It's really her. You dope. You dope in
Thank you.
all the facets of the word dope.
You know what? You speak my love language. Words of affirmation. That's what I love. So keep them coming. Well, I'll take it.
When I first met you, right? I thought, here goes one of them. Full of themselves, arrogant. But the more you spoke, and I actually had you on my show, Ray in the Midday on WIGO, I was like, oh my God, this lady is incredible. Quick-witted, smart. And then, after the show, we got to talking about, your dating
experiences.
And I was like, wow. So it was like 30 dates in 30 days?
40 dates.
40 days.
And 30 nights.
Oh, almost like Noah's Ark. Almost 40 days. So, but you only had one kind of, how many kind of been?
All the time.
Because, Noah had two of each kind of animal.
Okay, so I had, I would say I had them in pairs.
So let me ask you this. Did you say 40 men in 30 days?
Yes.
Wow. So you doubled up on some days. Right?
Yes, like you would have a lunch date, then a dinner date, brunch.
Why did
and we got creative. We went to the gym. I went to church.
Did the men know you was on excursion?
We all were on apps. So I think that's just how you date on apps. You just go on as many dates as you can to find love.
Maybe that's what I need to be doing. I need to download my ass an app quick because I'm out here struggling.
Really?
Man. Because I'm so entrenched with work.
Okay,
so
that happens.
Involved. I'm so much on the mission and so focused right now to succeed. I get up early. I go to work. By the time it's over, it's dark. I go home. I get invited to parties. But, a lot of people see you as the radio personality guy. So they don't really approach you.
So we got deep into the conversation. My audience doesn't even know who Ray Daniels is. So let's back up. So tell us where you're from.
I don't even know who Ray Daniels is. Ray Daniels was born in Brooklyn, New York. I'm very proud of that. Part of my introduction is I'm Ray Daniels. I'm from Brooklyn. So I'm very proud of the fact that I was born and raised in Brooklyn. Then almost in my teenage years, around 12 years old, I moved to a place called Southside Jamaica, Queens, where a lot of famous people are from there, like Nicki Minaj and 50 Cent and even Deborah Anthony, a good friend of mine. So Southside Jamaica, Queens, until about the age of 16. I went to a place called Staten Island,
still in New York.
which is known for like Force MDs and the Wu-Tang Clan, So that's what I made my mark doing music was in Staten Island, actually.
Okay, what did you do? Were you a rapper?
I was rapping and singing.
You were a rapper?
Yeah, I actually have
sing too?
I actually have 4 record deals.
You got albums out there?
Actually, yes. So music is what brought me into the radio game.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't like most people set out. I meet people who are set out to. They want to be radio personalities, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even want to be a
This
radio
was like your
personality.
retirement plan, basically.
No, they forced me into it, kind of, sort of, because like I had a record deal that actually landed me a college scholarship,
Wow.
and when I got on campus, it was like, we got a radio station here. I was like, okay, I can get my record played, because the only reason I was in South Carolina, Columbia, shout out to Columbia, South Carolina. The only reason why I was there is because I was on a music scholarship that I got from a record deal type
What
of thing.
school?
University of South Carolina.
Okay.
So I went there. I immediately went to find the radio station. And I was like, I got to get my record played. They was like, it doesn't quite work like that. That's how I found out a lot about the music industry from that experience. But I got to be who I am right now. Like, you got a radio voice. I'm like, really? I was trying to be Bobby Brown at the time. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was Bobby Brown, so I was like, I want to be like Bobby.
Oh, so it was like,
yeah, I was
had
really,
the moves and stuff
I was
too?
really getting into it. I was like, do the running man. I had a little fake slope, not quite the Gumby, because I didn't want to be on Bobby's whole deed. So
right.
I'm gonna give you a taste of Bobby, because I'm still Ray Daniels. But anyway, I was like, I got to get my record played. They was like, hell no. Like, you're funny. We got a slot open at the radio. You want to be on the radio? I was like, no, I don't want to be on your radio. So I walked away from that experience. It started raining. I had what they called an S curl at the time.
Oh, I had an S curl.
The rain, it was pouring.
Mine was a Babe Nouveau, actually.
That part, right? So all the activators start running in my eyes from the rain. I had a first down triple fat goose. It was all soggy from the rain. I said, you know what? Right then it hit me. I said, let me go back and tell them I'm gonna take this job, because I could play my record.
Right.
So it took a whole rainstorm for me to figure out. I could have figured that out right where it was dry at. Like, yeah, okay, I'll take it. I can play my music.
Exactly.
Right. But college radio is a little bit different than your commercial FM radio, because college radio, you got to play all different formats of radio. You got to play a little bit of rock. You got to play some jazz. You got to play everything.
Okay.
Because
so this wasn't an HBCU.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
It's the university. So would that be even if it was an HBCU, you got to play different formats and genres of music to
get outside the college campus
to appease, because you don't know who's attending the college.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, they only playing rock. So you have to play different versions of music. So they had me there for the 2 hours to play urban music.
Okay.
And they didn't have, this is University of South Carolina in South Carolina, where they do have HBCUs like Benedict and Allen. So they were playing black music, but we weren't. So here's a black guy. That's what I figured it out. I figured it out later on. I'm the black guy who can play the black music.
That's why they wouldn't play your record.
That's why they would play your record, because they didn't have a black guy to play black music. So so I actually took that job at WSC radio. I became the program director, but I didn't immediately go into radio after that. Like I said, I wanted to be Bobby Brown, but after I learned in college that there's something called plug-ola, not payola, where you play to get your records played, but plug-ola is a situation where you talk about like nightclubs and restaurants, and they pay you in the back end, like, oh, last night was dope. I was at All You Can Eat Stevens. Like, that was supposed to be a commercial, but since it's college radio, we didn't have commercials anyway, because like anything below 92 on the dial is either dedicated to colleges, churches, nonprofit. So just for the record, if somebody say, oh yeah, I'm on the radio, it's Power 88, they're considered a nonprofit or a charity station or educational station or a religious station. Okay, and they got to do what they call they can only accept donations. So that's what I was plug-ola king in college, and I was getting, I can say it now because it was college, but I was getting like $1,000 a restaurant or a nightclub, and then I became the host, and they would pay me the $1,000 plus $300 to host.
Oh, that's true. That's for a college student, as broke as you are, like. That's money right there.
I was making more money in college as an 18-year-old than grown folks was making. Because you got to think it's 7 days a week. I was averaging no less than 500 to club, no less than 300 to talk, no less than 300 to DJ. And sometimes that would be one check. It'd be the DJ, the hosting, and talking about it on the radio. So,
wow.
So I didn't immediately go on the air
into the radio business.
So right after radio, I didn't go into radio because that plug Ola money was so good. I went into nightclub promotions and living off my name in the area because 4 years of college. By then, my name was ringing bells and everybody like get that guy. And I got my night. And so I forgot all about having a record deal at that point because I was making so much damn money just doing that. And I was like, so radio just took me off the streets, and I've been doing radio ever since. But I went into nightclub promotions after college, and me testing my mojo, I said, you know what, I got to go to New York. If I can't do this in New York, I'm just really a big fish in a small pond. So I went to New York, and I pulled it off in New York too. Upstate New York, Utica, New York. I was on the radio there. Baruch College, which is in Midtown Manhattan, killed that for a while. And then I got under a big producer in New York by the name of John Ngungi Rivera. Anybody that knows about New York, that's the Tunnel, that's the Palladium, that's all the big spots. I became a sub promoter for him. Okay. And then it just went back full circle because from there.
Yeah, New York is big in radio. So like that's so that's the plug-ola.
That's the real plug-ola. But then, now I'm a small fish in the big pond.
Okay.
Because everybody out there, they got names. You got to think, you got Funk Master Flex. It was a guy named Big Cap. Rest in peace, Big Cap. Big Cap, the bigger figure. So like these dudes' names were so gigantic. I wound up doing the sub promotion thing, but it was like just to pay the bills in New York. Then I created a magazine, and then the magazine just instantly took off. So I got a lot of FM radio interviews due to the magazine, and everybody I interviewed with, from Wendy Williams to Miss Jones to Ed Lover in New York.
Free Wendy.
Right, Free Wendy. To everybody I interviewed to promote my magazine, was like, why aren't you on the radio? And I was like, why is everybody seem to believe I'm a radio personality? So what I did a spin-off internet station off the magazine I promoted, and it blew up. So now,
is there money in radio though? Like, is that why you don't want to do it? It is.
It is a lot of money in radio.
Really? To be a radio personality, like what we talking, 6 figures?
Yeah, I mean,
really?
I haven't made less than 6 figures in a long time.
Ladies, he's making 6 figures.
And I can prove it. Okay. So at the end of the day, right? So, but to get to those 6 figures, you have to brand yourself. You have to be known for something, and people have to want your voice. So like in some markets, in some small markets like Columbus, Georgia, which I was in, shout out to Foxy 105.
Is that where Charlamagne started too?
No, Charlamagne started with me.
Really?
Yeah, at a place called the Big DM, and we was mentored by Wendy Williams at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was in South Carolina. I read his book.
He was in South Carolina.
He started off in South Carolina. Right. Doing something too. But y'all weren't in the same city.
No, we was in the same circles, but we both interned under Wendy.
Okay.
And then I think he went to like maybe Philly after that, or somewhere up north, and then he got with Wendy and was Wendy co-host for a while. Yeah, and then he branched out into his own thing. But Charlamagne wasn't always Charlamagne, y'all. So like at the end of the day, him interning with Wendy or then becoming Wendy's co-host kind of cultivated him and created the Charlamagne you know today. Because he was definitely more like a reporter and more giving you the information, less controversial than he is right now.
Okay.
And Wendy put that battery in his back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what ever since then he took off. And that's when those are the happy days when she was with Kevin before Kevin got exposed. So shout out to all that. So a lot of people started telling me, you need to do radio. So instead of me using, so I was on Sirius XM with Rude, Jude, and Lord Sear. My magazine was called Drama at the time. So I was brought on as an expert person to talk about the drama because like my magazine was called Drama. It was like the National Enquirer of hip hop, and at that time, beef was at its all time high with
like the East Coast, West Coast.
Not no, it's a little past that. That's when 50 Cent had beef with your boy. He was on the song Benzino and Rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy in New York at one point. Game with 50 that started beefing. So everybody came to me as the person that was the source of the beef.
So he was the TMZ
so
the
Lord
beef
Sear,
back then.
yeah, so Rude Juice always bring me once a month every time my magazine dropped to spill the tea. And so I was a guest host on Sirius XM for a while. And some of my friends who are now big in the game, we wasn't so big in the game then. So I'm talking about like DJ Envy, this. I remember, and it's just I got some news for y'all. I remember one time, and Envy is still my homeboy to this day. When he comes to Atlanta, he always let me know where he's playing at or whatever. Shout out to his manager June. It was one point where DJ Envy actually DJed for me for $200. There's no way you can get DJ Envy for $200 at this point. And DJ South, who's at Power 105, he DJed for me for $100. So these are like big time DJs.
Exactly.
But we was all getting it at the time. We was just grinding. And rest in peace to DJ K Slay, who gave me my biggest break in New York under the magazine umbrella. Because I remember I stood outside Hot 97 in the cold, and my magazine was just hot off the press. And I seen K Slay, and I slipped in the magazine, yo, hold that. Then he went upstairs. So we put the radio station on blast, hoping he would shout us out. And he did. And my phone went crazy.
What?
Oh my God, K Slay shouting you out. So the magazine was called Drama. And it so happened that K Slay was known as the Drama King. So it worked out so perfect. And then what I used throughout the magazines at the time, there was King Magazine. Back Shots was the thing.
Back Shots.
So like, I had an exclusive amount of back shots.
What's the back shot?
Back shot is when women pose with their back to the camera, and they might have a voluptuous booty. So that was the thing that was popping at the time. So he went through the magazine and he saw, oh my God, I had some of the top models in my magazine with the back shot photos. He said, I don't know who this dude is outside, but he just slipped in the magazine. It's crazy. So I went off the chain. So I used the magazine to do radio FM interviews. So I wind up spinning off an internet radio station from the same name as the magazine.
Okay.
So that got me back to Atlanta.
Let me pause you right there because like you just dropped some nuggets. I want to make sure I'm picking up, and I want to make sure my audience is picking up.
Right.
So, because especially like in this podcast game, I don't even know how I got into this, but I'm here.
Right.
There's so many podcasts out there.
Right.
And it's definitely about it has to be beyond the podcast. It has to, like you said, build your brand, build your name.
Definitely have to build your brand.
So what are some tips or what are some things that you learn along the way when it comes to like building your name, like especially like when you said you're like, I'm a small fish in a big pond.
Right. And I was a big fish in the small pond.
Right.
In South Carolina. So I'm gonna tell you the real trick to all of this. The real trick is be yourself. Because what you're not taking notice of as yourself, people are locking in on. Because like I do a phrase like what it do, and I just do it because that's me. I never meant for it to be a gimmick or anything. But then when I start going to Walmart or in the street, people are like, what it do? So, oh shit, I gotta start saying that more.
Right.
So at the end of the day, people are gonna tell you what they like.
Okay.
Right. Or in like everybody said, oh, your voice, you got a radio voice. I never thought I had a radio voice. Like I said, I was trying to be Bobby Brown. So you gotta
and Bobby Brown.
You gotta pay.
Have you met Bobby Brown? Reach out to Ray.
Right. You gotta reach out to me, Bobby. I did meet BBD and Ralph, but I never met Bobby. So like at the end of the day, right? So pay attention to what people are telling you.
Okay.
Because like this all started because I went to University of South Carolina and was like, have you ever thought about doing radio? And I was like, nah. And then the thing you least think is going to take you to the next level, you have to start embracing what people are tagging you with, even if it comes across to you like, oh, is negative, but at the end of the day, it's what people are locking in on. So try to find a way to put a positive spin on it.
Okay, I like that. Be yourself, and
yeah, just be yourself. Like if you like the way your hair a certain way, believe it or not, it's gonna lock in. Like remember when Erykah Badu was wearing that turban, nobody thought to wear a turban doing R&B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever thought to be that real with the lyrics. On and on and on and on. Because everybody wanted to be something else. Everybody wanted to be glammed up. A lot of sequins and sparkles. She came out just being herself in it. Because like this is what I tell a lot of people that I meet. Okay, believe it or not, right? You're trying to reach out to the masses and the millions of people. There's a million you. There's a million you. And if you stop to think about it, those are going to be your real fans. When you are yourself, the other 999,000 people, they are just like you. And I'm going to tell you why this makes a whole lot of sense. Have you ever been in the park or a mall and you saw somebody that looked just like your cousin and you called their name, you called their name out, Keisha. You run up to them like, oh, I thought you was my cousin. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a million you.
Or people be like, oh, you remind me of. Right.
It's not even enough faces to go around.
Yeah. So like your personalities, your look, like, yeah, you're right. It's like a million.
And that's why the whole dating thing is so difficult because you're trying to find someone to lock in with. You know within 5 minutes this ain't gonna happen, but I hope the lasagna is good here. Within the first 5 minutes, you already know this is not gonna be a lock-in. But some dudes they don't believe, they still think they try to finesse whatever. But at the end of the day, you already made your mind within 5 minutes where you see yourself with this person. And unless they're not your type, but you locked in on something that you like.
So let me school you to the dating game since it sounds like you're just getting back out here.
Right.
I'm the expert. Okay?
You are.
I'm the expert at dating.
And I suck at dating.
Now, just to kind of give you just a little bit about my story, like I'm not licensed in this or anything like that, but I went on a journey after my marriage to, at first I was searching for love. I was like, oh, I just got
searching for love.
I was trying to replace,
I want love.
I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love.
Okay, we got that in common.
Yeah, absolutely. But what I realized is that that's something that you can't chase. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I had to start working on loving myself and building myself and working on becoming a better version of me.
Ooh, that's where I'm at right now.
And that's a beautiful place.
I just gave up.
No, it's not giving up because you're going to start to attract who you are.
Right.
When you're at the place that you're supposed to meet them. So when you're in this chaotic space and you don't want to really meet nobody in that space.
Right. So what you're saying, ironically, what you're saying is the same thing I'm saying about the entertainment business. It's going to gravitate to you. Stories were so hilarious. I love hearing dating stories because it puts me in the place like, damn, I know not to do that.
Lessons like that. You know what? That experience is what actually sparked Smart Love because I was like, okay, I want to share my experiences. I want to hear about other people's experiences and we can learn from each other so that we can make better decisions.
Hey, it definitely worked. It definitely worked because some of them dates were so visual. I could be by myself and I think back to some of your stories. I'm like, damn. I'm hoping that's not the impression I left on a person because let me tell you about Smart Love. Like I only take people on dates that I like. Okay. So it's not even a mystery for me. I already like you already.
Okay.
Because it's either through phone conversations, even through text messages. You can text somebody all the way to your house now. Like a lot of people don't like to even talk on the phone so much anymore.
Yeah.
It's by like maybe the 15th or the 30th text. I'm like, I never even heard this person's voice. Because you be on like either Facebook or Instagram, you be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're handsome. Oh, where you live? Oh, what's your sign?" And before you know, you just text it back and forth, and you be like, "I never even heard this person's
Right.
voice."
No, but there's a whole vetting process, even with like online dating. And so it's like, yeah, you move from the app to texting, then it's phone conversation,
Right.
and then you go out on a date.
I am so scared of apps because I love an aggressive woman in
Oh,
person behind closed doors,
ooh,
sometimes even in public.
ooh.
But some apps are aggressive, so I tried a few.
Which one?
I tried Plenty of Fish.
POS? Yeah, I
POS,
got
them
plenty of
ladies get
fish.
right down to it. Like, where are you? Like, meet me here. I was like, oh, so, but and I like girls, so I go. I go. I meet you where you want me to meet you at. And then there was one called. It probably don't even exist no more. Called
Black people meet
Tagged.
tag.
Tagged. So you don't even know it, right? Tagged, like tagged.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So in Black Planet, it might have been an app, but we just didn't know it.
That's what started. Remember Black Planet, dog? Oh man, that was before
Right.
Facebook. Oh,
We was definitely young then.
You had to have your Black Planet
It
page.
came across like risque because we were still like young in age when that came around. So he was like, "Oh, wow, you can meet people." So that was dope. So, but yeah, Plenty of Fish. I got a lot of great experience through Plenty of Fish, but at the end of the day, you're all a public figure,
right?
And people can see like Ray Daniels on the PLF. Like, what the hell? He could probably get anybody he wants.
I'm gonna jump back real quick because you said when you first met me, you thought that I was like
bougie
and full of myself. So let me tell y'all why he thought that, because he mentioned, this is my first 5 minutes of meeting him.
Right.
He mentioned that he needed a co-host for his podcast, and he's interviewing people.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm your. Here she is.
I'm her.
I'm her.
You know what I mean? About this.
So I have this confidence, but it's like I'm very down to earth. So it's not like a bougie. I don't think I'm above anyone.
And I figured that out the more I spoke with you.
Yeah, I'm just really her. I'm just really me. And
for the record, I love confident people. and to narrow it down, I love assholes. I love people who know who they are and know what they're not going to take from you. They have boundaries, and they have expectations. I love that. Yes. A lot of people don't like that, but I love it when the black woman knows what she wants, because I get along with women more so than I get along with guys, because guys have a tendency to have like secret envy, jealousy shit going on with them, and women really appreciate when you empower them. So I love empowering women, putting them in position. But sometimes it can get twisted. Like, some women think you want to get in their pants, but I just really want to help you. Yeah. Because when I was grinding, I was definitely getting money, but there was a void. Like, I'm getting all this money, but it's just that part, and then you get to a point like, who's really with me because me, and who's really my friends. Because at one point, you're not gonna believe these. Some of these stories are just out here. I gotta write a book, right?
You do gotta write
I was making so much money at one point, and I didn't really respect money. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't, because I was just straight cash. I didn't know about credit. I didn't know nothing about this, because I thought the way I was getting money, it would never end, because I was making money having fun. So I'm like, long as I can have fun, I'm gonna make money. So sometimes I would do parties, and after the parties, I would buy the whole restaurant out. Whoever's in the restaurant could eat. Then I thought that's the way to get love, like giving people, showing them love. You think you're gonna
get it back,
get some love. So I had at one point I was renting, but one was rent to own. I had 3 homes. I had one in the hood to keep the hood connected with me.
Of course.
And I had one in the white neighborhood where I was the only colored guy in the neighborhood. But these white people were so nice to me, because they figured that if he couldn't afford to live next to me, These are the type of stories you get. He must be Bobby Brown. He must be a boxer, an athlete. Like, how could he live here? But in all actuality, I got the house in a white neighborhood because a white man that wanted to change the dynamics of the neighborhood. He was actually dating a black woman, and he said, "Yo, listen, I seen a lot of people who wanted this house today, but I'm gonna give it to you because you're a black professional, and I want you to experience what it is to live in this neighborhood."
Not the white man
The
passing
white
down
man,
the white privilege to the black man,
right?
because he married to the sister.
He's going with the sister. But at the end of the day, let me tell you what. This is why I tell you this experience, because no matter how much love you show people, is is however they view you and what they want from you is what they want from you.
Yeah.
And in that house, I had 30 people living with me in that house.
Damn.
I used to step over people in the house, and I thought all these people. In the back of my mind, I thought all these people loved me, right? So it was me and my then girlfriend at the time. I had a dude that was doing security. He got to live there. On my entourage, they hand out flyers. They got to live there. If you could cook fish, you got to live there. And nobody paid an ounce of rent. And I just became a nuisance to the neighborhood at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
But when it was a big incident in upstate New York where all the cops came out. I had a nightclub where it was a shootout. Everything was going on. It made the news. How many people you think lived with me the day after it made the news? Zero. Even my girlfriend was suspect. She's like, I don't know.
Damn.
She's like, you're all over the news. I don't know. I don't need the heat. I don't need it.
So okay.
It's abandoned. I got abandonment issues.
Okay, no. So listen, like, again, now you just touched on a lot of other things that I wanna go back to. So you talk about like the amount of like money that you were making, and you didn't know about credit and anything like that. So another thing that I'm passionate about, in addition to the love, is like wealth, and it's like educating my people on how to create generational wealth and how to build it, protect it, and grow it, and pass it down to the next generation. You know what? My cup is getting low. You gotta pump me some of that.
But that's good. You're a good woman.
Thank you.
I can't believe you're single. So look, of course I want to be a billionaire. But based on my past experiences with money, I get more pleasure of succeeding. I like to fail up too. I'm not afraid to take chances to reach my goals. A lot of people they have a safety mechanism with them that I'm a risk taker. I will risk it all and go back to zero just to figure it out. A lot of people are not like that, but it's benefited me because I don't value like what people value. They want all the materialistic things, but success is which fulfills me. And that's why I really want a partner, because I want to go through that level with me, that part. Not so much that I need the RMPs, not so much that I really need love. I really want I really want somebody who got that same mindset, that same thrive, that same, fulfillment of succeeding and just going for it. And then I want to be able to share the successful experience with them.
That part.
With the money. Because the money is only going to be good until I reach like a pinnacle that I feel like, okay, this is going to make money on its own now.
That's where we got to get to.
Right. I own a company called Radio Connect Networks. Now, this is where people get it confused with me, right? I'm what they call a radio rep. This is why I call myself the radio king. Okay. I'm a radio rep, so I get artists on terrestrial reporting radio stations. That's one part of the radio. Okay. I actually help people get advertisement on the top radio stations and in the top markets like Philly, LA, New York, Chicago. That's 2. Okay. Number 3, I'm actually a radio personality who gets a paycheck. Okay. From 3 FM radio stations.
With the 3 sources of income.
And number 4, I own a whole digital radio network that helps artists report, and it makes it more affordable for them as far as having a radio budget, because believe it or not, you don't get on radio because you're talented. And people don't even stop to think about that for a second, because if it was based on talent, Anita Baker will be number one right now. Patti LaBelle will be on top of the charts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not based on your talent. It's based on your talent. It's based on how much of a you can influence the world to buy records. It's about, that's why we have the 360 deal now in the music industry. So a lot of people are like, I'm dope, I can sing. Da, da, da. It's not about that, sweetheart. It's not about that, homeboy. Can you fill stadiums? And if some of these things artists that be telling me that they don't, I could put on a show locally, and they come with themselves and their homeboy. I was like, you're not going to go platinum if only your homeboys coming to the show. You're not going to go platinum when I bring you to the radio station and my ratings didn't go up because you came here. Like if you was that guy, like if I was like, some people tell me, oh, that's short notice. Then I tell them, would that have been short notice if Jay-Z made the same announcement? If Jay-Z said he's coming to the radio station, would that have been the same short notice? If Jay-Z says he's going to go downtown to Piedmont Park and perform, is he only going to have him and his own boy? No. Absolutely not. So it's bigger than the music. Yeah. It's brand awareness. Yeah. It's being an influencer. It's being able to interact, engage. It's people gotta want to look like you, talk like you, dress like you, act like. If you don't have the power to make somebody like if you don't got the power of Cameron to put on all pink, and then the whole Harlem is wearing pink the next day. If you don't got the power to put on a throwback football jersey, and all of the world is wearing throwback football jerseys because you put it on, then if you don't got the power of T.I., remember T.I. used to tip his hat and do a certain dance? I could tell who artists like just about the way they perform and the way they dress. Oh, you like T.I., right? Yeah. You like Outkast, right? Yeah. You can tell. So, like, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. So, love, if you can't go in the bathroom while your girl's in the bathroom, y'all not in love. Y'all just having fun right now. So, like, I'm in the bathroom. I need tissue. You can come all the way in there with the roll of tissue. That, you know what I'm saying? So
that's love.
So at the end of the day, I'm in the space like what you just said. Like, if people are like, oh, Ray, a lot of the stuff I'll be doing on the internet, it's just marketing, because I want women to feel like, oh, he likes us, he wants to be with us. So I'm like, oh, I'm single. Da da da. What we doing today? That's a part of marketing. And then you get known for that. The people start feeling sorry for you. Don't worry, your wife's gonna come. I'm like, that's part of marketing.
Don't worry, your wife.
Because at the end of the day, if you really want to, get to where you want to be, we got OnlyFans, we got KODs.
But no, okay. So, but I want to go back to the wealth conversation. I'm about to bring it back to what you just said about partnership. So, one of the things that what I realized doing this show and just talking to people, like, there's this huge divide between the black man and the black woman. So, like, the black family is in crisis right now. We're separate. That is funneling also down to the black wealth crisis.
It sure is.
Because typically, it's a family. You have your family, solid foundation as a family. And as a family, you do the things like you said. You have a partner who you're growing, you're building with. You ain't just out here chasing a dollar by yourself. Right. Like you're building together. You're growing together, and that that creating that partnership is what's going to trickle down to the generational wealth. Absolutely. And that's the reason why there's not a lot of black generational wealth, because we're so divided, even just on the love side. We haven't even got together to create the families. Like it's the black man and the black woman are like bumping heads. So the black woman like, I'm gonna go make my money by myself. And then they're like, oh, sure, she don't need me. I'm over here and I'm spending my money with somebody that appreciates it. Right. And so we don't come together, and we don't like I said, build that partnership, because to me, that's what relationships is all about. It's a partnership. It's
sure
not
is
about just getting what I want.
right.
No.
Right.
It's like it has to be reciprocated. So, like, what you think about that?
I love what you said. But that is, and it's by design, okay? Because kids don't even go outside and play no more. Parents teacher meetings, they don't happen no more. Eating dinner at the same time, that doesn't happen anymore. It's a hot pocket world.
Ooh, not hot pockets.
Kids come in when they want to come in, microwave something, or they door dash it. They go on straight to their bedroom. A lot of women have to go out and work for themselves, so they don't even see their kids. They see their kids in the first thing in the morning when they go to school, and by the time they come home, their kids are either in the street or they are or they in their room on Xbox or PS5 or whatever like that. So it's a huge disconnect in families.
That's real talk.
And then no disrespect to the women, get your paper, whatever. But when you have to get attention by using your body, then we men are viewing you for what you're putting out there. So if you displaying your body, then they're attracted to you for your body, and they think you only want what comes with displaying your body. And we always posing with money. We got money to our ear and shit like that. So at the end of the day, it all starts with the family. Was you raised with your mom and pops in the house?
So my mom and my father, they were together off and on. Like they were separated probably like most of my life. Never got a divorce, but my father was always, a prominent.
Instrumental?
Oh, always. Like,
Right.
but I was a daddy's girl.
So that's where it starts, because even some people's kids, right? And I'm locked in. I know all the new songs. I know because I'm on the radio. I know all the new dances. I got an 8-year-old daughter. We locked in. We dancing the same music, and she's 8 years old, right? So I make it a point to let my kids be who they are, but there is a generation that automatically disconnects with people over 35. If you're 35, you old to somebody in the street. You old. Hey, like, you know what I'm saying?
My God, you better not call me no auntie. You better not. I ain't your auntie. I ain't your
and they immediately want the disconnect because they want that space where they can do whatever they want to do to find themselves. That's why, if Facebook was the ish. But once moms and kids and daddies and kids was both on Facebook, they had to find somewhere else to go. We go on Instagram. Once we got on Instagram, we got to find somewhere else to go. We on TikTok. We on TikTok. We got to find somewhere else to go. Snapchat. So it's like they don't want to be on no platforms or no association with their family. That's why there's a Southern Soul is really emerging, because somebody who's 60 years old is dancing to where my fans at, boots on the ground, with somebody who's 8 years old, 9 years old, 15 years old.
Yeah.
So it's songs like that are bridging gaps.
Yeah.
And we're just missing, we're missing the only time you see your family members now is at weddings and funerals. Weddings and funerals. So we got to get back to the family reunions. Yeah. We got to get back to the cookouts. Yep.
Shout out to the Willis family. So I have a Georgia family that adopted me. They're from Atlanta, and we just had family day this past Sunday.
That part.
Like, yeah, but my real family in California, we can't get together for a family reunion because they argue about where we going, who chose this, why we doing this, when.
Right.
We ain't did one.
The whole term in Brooklyn down south came from. Every time the summer came, my mother and father made bologna sandwiches, turkey and cheese sandwiches, got a cooler, put whatever supermarket brand of soda in the cooler, and we drove down south. So that's how we got to know our cousins, and we just saw stuff that we never saw before, because we're a concrete jungle family. We're in the streets of Brooklyn on concrete. When the street lights came on, we had to get our asses out. When we came down south, we saw cousins putting sugar in grits, sugar in macaroni, eating red clay mud. We was like, what the hell is this? What is that, mama? So we was like, that's your cousins. And the down south cousins, they embraced us because they were so hyped to see they Brooklyn cousins. Yeah. And then we'll go back was something that we took from them back to Brooklyn. And then when they came to Brooklyn, they took something back from Brooklyn back down south. That made them cool, like the mixtapes and stuff like that. I got a cousin in Brooklyn. I got a cousin down south. So when people was doing the big head bounce and stuff like that, we said they dance down there. Boys be dancing. Because boys didn't dance in Brooklyn. We played the wall until like a reggae joint came on. Boy, I came down here, I see boys dancing. I was like, yo, they be dancing down here. And I came down here, it was like maybe March. It was still brick cold in Brooklyn. I had on a pair of Timberlands, a triple fat goose, my hat on. Triple fat goose. And they said, you must be from Brooklyn. Because like, ain't nobody down here on the coat or some Timberlands. It's like, this dude is way out of place. But we just got to get back to family.
That's where it's at.
It's a big disconnect within the house. Yeah. In the house, there's a disconnect. Yeah. And then that's where the financial literacy and all that stuff kicks in. Because you don't got no daddy to tell you, it's how I bucked up my credit. You need to go ahead and do this. You need to go ahead and get you a secured credit card. You need to do this and put this credit card on your cable bill so that way it shows some frequencies that you always caught up on your bills to raise your credit. It's some dads who don't even know how to tie ties. So they can't teach their son to tie a tie.
No, that's real.
Right. And then you got some mothers who are ratchet. So what you expect their daughters to be right now? There's grandmothers that's 36. Ooh. I'm just keeping it real. So when I do parties, right, I can have 3 generations of females in the club. 3. I got the grandma who's like 50, right? The daughter who's in her 30s, and her daughter who's like 18, 19, just barely became legal to get in the club. It was so bad at one time. There was a lady my age, right? Because I have a youth appearance sometimes. She was trying to hook me up with her daughter who was half my age. I'm like, I'll probably be a better fit for you. Like, because, she thought she was too old for me. Because I'm just a playful guy. I like to have fun. And, sometimes I have a youthful appearance because sometimes I like to rock the clothes that younger people rock.
Let me ask you this. So, like, what is your dating age range?
Whoa. Don't get me to lying because my baby mama just turned 33.
Oh, wow.
Right. And you got to go 8 years behind that.
Yes.
So she was like 25.
And how old were you?
I was older than 25.
No, you got to tell it now. You need to know.
So it was a huge age gap. But she was so damn mature, I didn't even know she was that young.
Okay. So it wasn't like a choice. You're like, oh, no, I'm not dating anyone my age.
No, I actually heckled her in the club. But she thought she was all that. I was on stage. I thought I was giving my best me on the stage. And she was powdering her face. I said, oh, put the camera on that girl right there. Put the lights on her. And she was still, what, nigga, what? So at the end of the day, at what the show was, I said, yo. So I said, send her a bottle. That's the only thing that got her crazy. So now you got to come up here and get the bottle. So she was playing along. And the crowd was going crazy. So at the end of the day, I said, what's your name? I was actually dating somebody at the time. But the chemistry was so dope that through conversation, I said, well, party, we got an after party over here. You show up here, then that means something's up, right? I said, oh, you with your man? So the dude didn't claim her. She was actually into that dude. What? She came down there with a dude from Charlotte, North Carolina, who she came to support his performance. But he didn't claim her. And she was fine. I don't know why he didn't claim her. I said, oh, I'm sorry, you with your man? And she was going to let that rock. He said, oh, no. She thought that's going to get him where he wanted to go with me. She said, oh, you're not with me? So she wound up at the after party. And we got to kicking it. She was from New York. So that made it even easier. Then when I got to talking to her, I was actually starting the tour with Kilo Ali, like the very next week, and I had to go to
story.
Right, I had to tour with Kilo Ali and Sean Paul, the rapper Sean Paul from the Young Bloods was on the tour. I created the tour, that I was going to take them on. I said, well, I'm going on tour next week with Kilo Ali. He was like a Atlanta legend out here. She said, oh, I like him. I said, well, I got to go by my mother's house, drop off my car, da, 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 da. And she lives, this how you ain't going to believe it. She lived 35 minutes from my mom.
Wow.
So I said, yo, if you meet me at my mom's house, you can go. And it was on ever since. Now, let me tell you something, right? I didn't know that this is how bad I am at dating. Get ready. Are you ready? We didn't even know each other really because I was a real serious drinker. So I used to drink away all my shit. So I was getting, I just felt like I'm gonna drink my life away. And she was on that same shit. She's in the Aquarius, I'm in the Aquarius. She was drunk, I was drunk. So for the first 5-6 months, we never really knew each other because we was always drunk.
Wow.
Right? But she said, I want to move to Atlanta.
Is that when she got pregnant?
Let me finish. No, she didn't get pregnant. I said, listen, we was always drunk when we was hanging with each other. She was drunk, I was drunk, and we was so happy. We had to drop tops, driving through the cities drunk. We was drunk every fucking day. Right? For months we was drunk. Then we woke up one day sober, like, who are you? And like, this is crazy, right? And no, we didn't get, she didn't get pregnant then. It took like 2 years after that. We was together for 2 years before we had our child.
Okay, we ain't gonna tell your whole life story today. Right. But okay, well, I gotta wrap you up. You got stories for days. So you would definitely be back on Smart Love. Smart Love is about love, wealth, and success. So I want you to give me one mantra for each. One mantra for love.
Love. I love love. I think love is something that's unconditional. Like you ought to, it's an instinct.
Yes.
It's instinctual. That's a word.
I like that. I like that.
So
okay.
You know you love each other without having to say it so much, and you already know how to nurture somebody to help cultivate them to the next level. That's love. When you truly,
it's instinctual.
Yeah, it's instinctual. It's like like, oh, you must be hungry. Are you thirsty?
I love that.
What do you need to get to the next? And that's
natural.
It's for both sides. It's both sides.
Okay, now your mantra for wealth.
Wealth. I think wealth is what you make it. It's not necessarily have to be like the richest person in the world. You don't have to be like wealth is when you feel like you've made it to me. Wealth is like, okay, you don't have to want for anything anymore in your space. Not necessarily a billionaire or a millionaire. You could be a 6-figure person where you feel like, this is reoccurring revenue. And wealth is like family, a wife, some land, and be able to reciprocate that and pass it down to the next generation.
I love it.
If you have wealth, you should be able to have a legacy along with that.
I love that. And success. The mantra for success.
Success is that success is what you make it. It's kind of along the same lines as well. Because don't let nobody judge your success, your measure of success. Because some people they want to own a bakery. Yeah. They get a bakery. They selling cupcakes. Everybody in the neighborhood love them, and they're successful.
Yeah.
They got into where they want to be as far as owning a bakery. Success is putting your kids through college and sacrificing everything that you would have done so they can have a better life than you.
Yes, I love that.
To me, that's a level of success.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you, Ray.
At the end of the day,
they find you. Is this it right
here? They can find me at KOD right now. But if they want to find me, really, it's on Instagram. It's my real legitimate name because there is another Ray Daniels out here.
Okay.
So like every time when I say Ray Daniels, we always gotta say, oh, the record guy or the radio guy. And he really, and big ups to the other Ray Daniels, because he's really emerged since his podcasting, and people really got way more familiar with him. Because when I first came to Atlanta, it was about the radio thing. So I said, okay.
Ray Daniels on
there's another Ray Daniels out here, and he's doing really good. If you look at the podcast and everything, right? So you can follow me at Raymond the Radio King. That's Raymond the Radio King, and you can just find him at Ray Daniels.
Well, until he comes on Smart Love, we're not promoting him. Right. So follow Raymond the Radio King
on
Instagram. And you already know where to reach me at Smart Love Inc. I'll let your girl get you some Smart Love.
That part.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Make sure you share with a friend or two or three. Let's continue to grow together.